Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to talk to you guys about sort of my drastic transformation and how I was able to actually transform my physique. So, a bit about myself. I've been bodybuilding for 4+ years now. Been dieting for a while. I've been exercising for a long time, and I can say that I am very experienced, to say the least. I've been shredded countless number of times. I'm on a diet right now. I'm tracking everything. I'm weighing everything. So just sticking to my calorie budget for today. But I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I lost the weight, um, how I've made so much progress, and how I was able to complete my drastic transformation. So a bit about myself. I started bodybuilding like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. Um, and I didn't know much about it actually. I was just eating whatever I wanted for the most part. I would not care about my diet. I didn't know how to track my food. I didn't know how to weigh my food. I didn't know how to cut weight. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about, the 8 to 12 rep range and its potency for building muscle. So I didn't know much about bodybuilding. Um, Now I know much more, but back then I just had a normal physique. I didn't have like the best physique in the world, because I wasn't as interested as it in bodybuilding as I am now. So um, after you know working out and bodybuilding and dieting and doing all this for a number of years, I can say that I know how to cut weight um, pretty well. I mean, I still struggle with it sometimes. Very rarely I struggle with cutting weight. But I'm going to tell you guys about how I drastically transformed my physique, how I underwent this sort of drastic transformation in the span of a year, um, and why I'm still bodybuilding. So, if you know anything about me, I love bodybuilding, I love cutting weight, I love staying super shredded. So, Um, I do everything I can, day in and day out. I weigh my food, I track my calories, I make sure that I'm sticking to my caloric budget. Um, so that's how I go around my food. I weigh it. If I can't weigh it, then I probably won't eat it unless I know how many calories are in it. Um, but as I said, um, if you guys are wondering, I know a lot of people say work out 3 times a week. That's good enough. Or some people say work out 4 times a week. Some people say do incline walking. Some people say do 3, 12, 15, whatever it is. Some people say do this, do that. Some people say run. Some people say cycle, swim. A lot of people say different things. So I'm going to tell you about my experience personally, how I transformed. I started off running. I started off actually using the elliptical. And I didn't really like the elliptical. I mean, nowadays I do like the elliptical a lot more. I don't use it as much as incline treadmill, but I started off with the elliptical, and then I sort of started running a lot more. Um, and I developed the pace and the speed. I'm still trying to improve even to this day. So um, running is my preferred form of exercise actually. And if you guys are wondering like how I underwent the drastic transformation, that's sort of how I went around it. I built up my pace and my speed with running. I'm still trying to improve, as I said, even to today, tomorrow, whatever, next week, next year, it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you guys that that's sort of how I went around building my physique. I'm still running even to this day. I would love to bike, actually. I might get like an indoor bike or a race bike or something, but um, yeah, I that's how I go around cutting weight. If I do have the energy and the strength in my legs to run, if I'm not beat up by all the cardio that I'm doing, I will run and I'll push myself and I'll try as hard as I can each time. So that's how I go around. That's one of the key components that's actually come around in building my endurance and my speed. It's why I can burn so many calories now. Not the most amount of calories in the world. I know a lot of other people burn much more calories than me, but they train much longer than me. But I do have a certain amount of speed and endurance built up, so I can burn calories at a great rate. But as I said, I know a lot of people say that you should work out 3 times a week, 4 times a week, twice a week. I'm gonna tell you guys that I do cardio year round. I'm always pushing myself on my runs. If I don't run, I'll do some heavy incline treadmill work. And I will burn calories that way. So I'm usually doing a lot of incline treadmill work. I prefer the incline treadmill over the elliptical. That's just my personal preference. I also like running. Running is my preferred form, actually. My favorite form of cardio. But I can't do it all the time. So I do cardio 7 days a week. I don't take any breaks from cardio. It doesn't matter if it's freaking Christmas. It doesn't matter if it's 4th of July. It doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving. I'm doing cardio. It doesn't matter. That's just how I live my life. I freaking love cardio. It's so good for you. It's so good for your health. It's so good for your mental health. I love pushing myself each and every time I get the chance. It feels great. So that's sort of a component into how I transform my physique. I'm gonna tell you guys that I'm doing year-round cardio. I'm still doing year-round cardio. And I still enjoy it to this day. Another thing I'm gonna tell you guys about is that I did do a lot of weight training on the weekends, such as Friday. If it was a Friday night, I was in the gym working out. I don't know, doing back and biceps. If it was Saturday, I was doing abdominal and some shoulder work. If it was Sunday, I was doing abdominal and shoulder work. So that's how I go around my life. I'm super dedicated to bodybuilding and cutting weight. So I am in the gym like on a Friday, on a Saturday, on a Sunday. I don't really drink. I have never had a sip of alcohol. And I never will. Which is actually great for fat loss, believe it or not. It's a great thing for fat loss. I don't have to worry about any additional calories from that. So that's just another way how I went around building my physique, how I transformed. Thankfully, I've never had a sip of alcohol, and I don't smoke marijuana. Another tip I have for you guys, if you guys are serious about bodybuilding, cutting weight, getting shredded, I would definitely say try to stay away from marijuana because it might give you an increased appetite. I'm also going to tell you guys that I went around building my aesthetic physique by doing hours and hours and hours and hours of cardio, like I said. It takes a lot of work. I'm still working at it. I love doing this. It's a huge part of my life. And I still enjoy doing cardio to this day and pushing myself. So, if you guys are wondering like how I went around it, yes, that is a great way. I'm gonna recommend you guys to push yourselves each and every day. If you can't push yourself on your run or on your hard bicycle ride or on your hard swim, if you're kind of tired from that, then push yourself on your weight training session, or push yourself on your cross training. So I do push pretty hard. I go all out pretty much whenever I get the chance. I go all out on my weight training. I go all out on my cardio. I'm just going like balls to the wall, all out, each and every day. I don't really feel fatigued, thankfully. I don't really feel like tired or drained, but that's just me. So yes, I did go around building my aesthetic physique by staying away from unnecessary calories, staying away from junk food, any creamer, sugar, stuff like that. Liquid calories for the most part. There are some, I do ingest some liquid calories, but they're not like the most detrimental liquid calories. Like, it's not empty liquid calories. Though liquid calories are not, they're not the most satiating thing anyways, but I will have liquid calories from time to time, believe it or not. That's just my personal preference. I might have orange juice, higher protein chocolate milk, unsweetened milk. That's about it. As for like my daily habits, as I said, I'm just drinking like water, sparkling water, orange juice, very infrequently, coffee, black coffee. It's just the habits that I've developed from like cutting weight for so long. I've developed a lot of habits, a lot of good habits actually. As I said, I stay away from alcohol. Never had it, never will. I stay away from junk food. I stay away from like a missed workout. I never skip a workout. And I just train very hard. So that's part of the reason why I built my aesthetic physique. I'm gonna advise you guys to train super hard, because you're gonna burn more calories that way, and it's gonna be the best way actually to eat. You're gonna be able to eat more food. If you train super hard, you're gonna be able to eat more food, and you're going to be able to enjoy your life a bit more. That's how I see it. More food is always better, of course. And I'm gonna tell you guys that, as I said, I sort of skipped out on social events. I skipped out on unnecessary things that I didn't see as appealing towards my physique. You know, like a party, or going out and getting drunk, or I don't know, like going to a movie theater. As I said, I haven't been to one in like years. Or a rave or anything like that. I haven't been to anything like that, like, ever, pretty much. I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything. Because I love being shredded. I love staying shredded. That's much more important to me. My physique, and it's much more important to me than getting wasted and having fun for a bit and having a slice of pizza with, you know, other people. So yeah, that's sort of how I went around building my physique. Again, I was in the gym on Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, later in the day on the weekends. And I know a lot of people say you should be partying on the weekends. As I said, I'm just personally more concerned with my body fat percentage. That's very important to me. So yes, I sort of skipped out on those social events, but that wasn't really like anything that I felt like I was missing out on. Because I don't know, it wasn't anything that I saw as appealing to me. I didn't want any unnecessary weight on my body just because I decided to have a drink with someone who didn't have the same goals as me, or a slice of food, a burger with someone who didn't have the same goals as me. So, um, that's how I went around building my physique. As you can see, it is sort of like a commitment. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I know a lot of people would prefer to like, I don't know, um, go party and enjoy themselves and go here and go there, um, get wasted and have a whole bunch of like 4,000 extra calories because there's freaking junk food and there's beer. I was never really a fan of that. As I said, I always looked up to like a bunch of bodybuilders. I still do, and I still love bodybuilding. I'm actually thinking about getting more into endurance sports and doing heavy cardio and hours on end. That's something that I'm thinking about. Something in the back of my mind that I'm always thinking about, so I can eat more food throughout the day, ramp up my energy expenditure. At this point in my life, I'm just worried about my body fat percentage, my physique, as well as other passions and interests. And I'm glad to say that I have dedicated myself to this. It is a commitment, as I said. Having an aesthetic shredded physique is a commitment. It's a pretty big one, actually. As I said, I don't really drink milk anymore. I don't really drink like any coffees that have like flavoring or sugars or syrups, stuff like that. So that's how I went around my drastic transformation. No junk food, pretty much. And more recently, actually, I've started dieting even on the weekends because that's a personal preference of mine. I'm just very concerned about my physique and it's very important to me. So, yes, I have picked up dieting on the weekends. And if you guys are wondering what else I did, I started eating a lot healthier. I actually increased my vegetable intake. Eating a lot of yogurt, chicken. Actually, recently I haven't been eating a lot of ground beef. I've been eating popcorn, rice cakes and ham, powdered, like healthier peanut butter. I've been eating like vegetables, Greek yogurt, berries, stuff like that. So, super healthy. Probably a bit over the top and unnecessarily bland, but I mean, it's healthy food. It's good for you. Like it's so good for you, and it helps you build muscle as well. So that's why I'm eating those sorts of foods. If you guys are wondering, like, do I ever get cravings? From time to time, but I know I can just reserve a day, like 6 months ahead, where I do a 10,000 calorie challenge. So that's something that I always think about. But that's sort of how I went around building my aesthetic physique. As I said, it is a commitment. I'm more of a homebody, and I have interests and passions at home that I indulge in. I am super, obsessive about. So that's how I go around my day. As I said, I only drink like water, sparkling water, black coffee right now. Powerade, stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you guys that I don't really have regular sugar anymore. I just use Splenda. And that's sort of how I'm going around, maintaining my physique. count my calories, I track my calories, I see how many calories I'm burning, I weigh my food, I count my meals, like 500 calorie meal, take it out of my daily intake. That's how I go around my physique, how I'm maintaining my physique right now. And yeah, I mean, I love counting calories. I know a lot of people might say counting calories is like, it sounds unnecessary, or it sounds boring, or it sounds like so tedious. But that's what I like to do. That's how I like going around the food process for me. And it's because it's very accurate. Like, it ensures accuracy. It makes sure that I'm, weighing it to the gram. I'm doing everything right. So that's how I go around my transformations. I've been doing this for like a number of years now, and it's pretty, how do you say it? It's pretty ordinary by now, but it still gives me some sort of flair, it gives me some sort of excitement. To weigh my food, to track my calories, and to make sure that I'm staying on track. As I said, there's a lot of good habits in place, as I said. I have to keep the good habits up, because what happens if next Friday comes around and I decide to grab a beer, or I decide to go to a bar or something? What's gonna happen? So, as I said, a lot of it is mental. You do have to be sort of committed, and you have to be just willing to do it, and willing to go through the actions, and to go through the whole process. So that's how I went around my drastic transformation. I was very meticulous about my food. My cardio. I know how many calories I'm burning. I know how much food I'm eating each day. I know the amount of calories that I'm eating each day. That's pretty much the most important part for me, is the food, how many calories it has, and how many calories I'm able to eat every day. So I think that's the most important part for me. And that's how I went around my drastic transformation. I did actually skip out on a lot of events for the sake of bodybuilding. As I said, I didn't go to any parties. If it was a Friday night or a Saturday night, later on during the days, I wouldn't go to parties. Like, if I was invited somewhere, I wouldn't go. If there was a new movie, I wouldn't go. If there was, like, I don't know, something that I wanted to do besides bodybuilding, I wouldn't do it. But there wasn't really ever anything that I wanted to do besides, go lift weights and diet and stay shredded, because I don't know. As I said, I have my own life, and I've always been interested in this. So as I said, I did skip out on a lot of social events for the sake of cutting weight and building my physique. But I think it was totally worth it, because I still love doing this, and we're gonna keep doing it, hopefully for you guys. So that's how I went around building my aesthetic physique. That was probably the most important part, actually, is cutting out the liquid calories, weighing everything, making sure I stuck to my budget, not attending social events, and actually just going to the gym and getting my workouts in, not going to a bar, not getting wasted, stuff like that. But that's how I went around building my aesthetic physique, my drastic transformation. I switched up my diet drastically. um, I got more concerned with my food. I stopped doing things that would compromise my future, such as going to social events that had, potential hazards such as alcohol, marijuana, drugs, junk food. Uh, I stopped, just doing a lot of those bad habits. You know, it's not like I was ever, uh, I don't know, like into that kind of stuff. But as I said, that's probably the most important part, and something that I'm still practicing to this day. Actually, I don't attend any like events that are gonna compromise my physique and my body fat percentage. So that's how I went around it. That is probably the most important factor, alongside my diet. Obviously, you still have to do the cardio. You still have to stick to. I'm still sticking to a strict routine. I'm still sticking to weighing everything and keeping up the daily habits actually to keep the weight off, because if I decide to grab a can of soda, I'm gonna have to burn it off. If I decide to grab, like, I don't know, some Hispanic food, I'm gonna have to burn it off, or I'm gonna have to fit it into my diet. But that's how I go around building my physique, maintaining it, maintaining my body fat percentage, and how I was able to drastically transform. So if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Watch my previous videos. Follow my Instagram. It's luis.hern, the number 9. It's luis.hern, the number 9. You can follow my Instagram page. I recently uploaded a website. I have a new website up. I post on my page whenever I complete a challenge. I'll keep you guys updated about my physique. Whenever something happens, whenever I feel that I want to post something, a new video, whatever it is, I'll post it there. I'll post in my stories when I'm eating throughout the day, or if something happens, I'll show you guys right there. So give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.